Support for exploring the American spirit provided by Blumenthal Law Offices. Serving Southern California clients for more than 40 years, the Blumenthal Law Team, headed by attorney Virginia Blumenthal, is devoted to defending the rights of the accused. More information is online at blumenthalllawoffices.com.
Hello, I'm Mary Parks. While we use many words to describe the American spirit, such as commitment, perseverance, resilience, generosity, and passion, the truth is the American spirit at its best is the feeling we get when we see it in action or share in the experience of learning how we help each other. Our goal with this program is to bring you the inspiring stories we've found that demonstrate the American spirit, or better put, that have found us. You see, the American spirit takes place all around us. We want to help you connect with the individuals and organizations that are busy every day making an impact, solving problems, and meeting needs. I'll be your guide on this incredible journey, so pull up your chair, relax, and prepare to be inspired. In 1999, Isidore Ramirez came face-to-face with death when a horrific work-related accident at an auto dealership crushed his back in several places. Doctors said he was lucky to be alive and that he would likely never walk again. Do you have difficulty climbing stairs, or you can do that okay?
It hurts my left leg.
Fast forward 17 years later, the retired Marine Corps drill instructor has not only defied all expectations by regaining full mobility, but he has become an inspiration to others, promoting positivity and perseverance to help people overcome extreme odds.
My dad was a single dad, and he was one of these people, my dad always told me you could do whatever you want as long as you work hard. And I was in a military school from the time I was in kindergarten until the time I went in Marine Corps. So, yeah, I was pretty structured, but I have learned throughout my life that if it's in your heart, you need to take care of it.
Backbone can be a person's spinal column. It's what holds us up physically. The keel of a ship is considered a backbone. The ridge of a mountain, often referred to as the backbone. But in many instances, a backbone means strength of character. Determination, grit, and backbone in facing adversity can be described as the American spirit. It's a lifelong trait that this retired Marine has carried with him. What do you say to yourself every morning when you get up and face another day?
Thank you, God.
Wow. Where does your inspiration come from to persevere, this determination?
I was raised that you don't give up on dreams that are in your heart.
Ramirez was living that dream with a career, family, and good health when his life forever changed in a split second. Tell me about the accident.
I was actually at a dealership, and I was pushing a 1,000-pound wrought iron gate, and I guess nobody knew anything about it, but the track was bent. I found out later it was due to a tow truck dragging its winch across it. Anyways, once I hit it, it pretty much was like hitting a brick wall, and it immediately buckled my legs, and from there it was just a matter of minutes. I couldn't feel anything. My back got numb, my hands got numb.
It crushed your spine?
Yeah, it just basically took my spine and shoved it down below my waist. And it just happened that quickly.
Doctors in the emergency room were not optimistic. They ordered an MRI of his spine and a battery of tests. Ramirez had herniated discs, crushed bones, and compression like they'd never seen.
Then they flew a specialist from Baldwin Park who did surgeries on back and necks. And he came in and looked at everything and told me, you'll never walk again unless we do this surgery, and even if we do the surgery, it's pretty iffy.
With thoughts of never walking or working again, Ramirez chose a series of grueling operations he hoped would give him his life back.
It was a 13-hour surgery. The first surgery was to replace half of my spine from the middle of my back down. And then once they got the spine in there, then they'd open me up from the back and then put in discs that were screwed in with titanium screws.
The day we talked with Ramirez about his long journey to walk again, it was his birthday. He had turned 61.
Today I'm fine. I've learned to deal with the pain. I've learned to close it out of myself, to close it out mentally. I don't take medication. I stopped taking that 2.5 years after the first surgery. And that was against my doctor's will. He says, I don't know how you think you could do that. And I said, I'm not going to take medication and do a job. And he said, I don't know what job you think you're going to do. And I said, I told you, my plans are to go in real estate and finish my career there. So little by little, I took myself off of the medication and then just learned to mentally blank it out.
That principle of mind over pain is what keeps Ramirez going each day. Some refer to it as the TMS method of healing.
Well, TMS is the brainchild of the greatest pain physician in American history. His name's Dr. John E. Sarno, formerly of the New York University Medical Center. And Dr. Sarno discovered decades ago, somewhere around the 1970s, when he was working with his back pain patients, that they weren't getting any better. The surgery wasn't working, injections weren't working, medication wasn't working, physical therapy wasn't working. So he began to look deeper into the process, and he discovered a personality type. People who push themselves hard, that try to keep a lot of people happy, that tend to lean towards perfectionistic means, slightly worrying people, anxious. A lot of them had some childhoods where they grew up to develop a certain personality type that we call the type T. And so when he got deeper into their charts, not only did they have this personality type, he noted that they had all kinds of other health problems. His back pain patients also had a lot of ulcer, stomach problems, skin issues, anxiety, restlessness, sleeplessness, allergies, on and on. It kept going. And so he began explaining to them that he felt that the back pain was a diversion from all of these demands that they were making on themselves and that were being placed on them, trying to be good, trying to be perfect, trying to do everything for everybody. And he noticed when he was explaining this process that some of the people began to heal. Once you start gathering the information about what's happening between mind and body, that's the healing process. But there's a huge caveat. You have to believe that and accept the fact that there's nothing wrong with your physical structural spine. And the majority of people can't do that. They can't do that. And so they suffer with back problems for the rest of their life. So the beginning is making sure nothing's wrong, reading the information, gathering it, trying to understand what's happening psychologically between mind and body. And then you actually just begin to let go. You begin to go back to living a normal life again without fear.
Steve Ozanick is a mind-body-spirit consultant, and what that means is he educates people on understanding their pain so they can heal from within. It's often known as TMS. He's even authored books on the subject. The Great Pain Deception was one of them, now a bestseller.
I'm not a medical practitioner or a psychotherapist, but I teach people and train them on TMS, the mind-body syndrome. And I've been doing it now for about 17, 18 years now. And the process works so elegantly. It's amazing that people will not look into it. But the people who do look, they're healing. Dr. Sarno stated in the 70s, surgery is the greatest placebo of all. Because it gets you out of the personal arena, but all the stress and the demands are made on you when you get pulled out of that into the hospital and during the convalescence. A lot of people think the surgery worked. when it did not. And as you just said, what I've seen in my almost 20 years now of doing this is that about a year or two later, it will come back sometimes in the knee, sometimes in the shoulder, but it sometimes will come back. Of course, we know people have had lots of surgeries that did not work. So everybody's unique, except the structure of the spine is basically the same in everybody. And so most people think they're unique. In other words, they feel they have the real spinal problem when almost nobody does.
Ramirez says he chose a career in real estate because it's a way to serve others, to help families bring joy and stability into their lives with a home. Still facing 2 more recommended surgeries, Ramirez is not giving up. Words of inspiration to someone else who might be facing, whether it's back pain or just life.
I've seen people that had back surgeries, maybe not as bad as mine, or, you know, if it's here in your heart or if it's in your head, don't stop. Don't give up.
That's the American spirit. Following a full day at school, Joanna Romero rushed from her 9th grade campus to the kitchen at a nearby community center. She hurries to put on her bright red chef's uniform. The double-breasted jacket is a thick cotton cloth to protect this 14-year-old aspiring chef from the heat of the stove and boiling liquids. Classmate Gabby Strassener, also a 14-year-old freshman, will team with Romero for a big catering job. The teens have been hired to make tacos for the local football booster club. At the grill is 13-year-old 8th grader Andy Guerrero. Guerrero is in charge of cooking more than 50 pounds of beef and chicken. The teenagers are part of an organization known in Southern California as Food Runners. They prep, cook, and serve meals for dozens of charity groups in the region.
One of the last events, I cooked a lot of meat, like almost the same, and she taught me how to do it, and I did really good, so I do the meat most of the time now.
Okay. What's this experience giving to you?
Well, it's giving me a lot of stuff, like advice, like on how to well, first of all, how to cook, so I know how to cook later on in life. You also learn like business management because it is kind of like a business. So we learn how everything works, how we get stuff that we need.
Food Runners is a recognized 501c3. The small group of volunteer students work together to extend a helping hand to other nonprofits. Their culinary skills are put to good use through catering community events for groups that help improve the lives of others, a trait we often see in the American spirit.
So before I came into the program, I had no experience whatsoever in the kitchen, no experience with other people, but ever since then, I've learned so much. I've learned how to make food, I've learned how to serve food, I've learned how to communicate with so many different people, and I've met so many different people. So, yeah.
So one day I may see you on TV on one of those famous chef programs?
Maybe. Hopefully. That'd be cool.
Today, there are just 3 food runners handling the kitchen. In addition to all that grilled meat, they've also made a big batch of rice that's been steaming with spices and onion. And refried beans, a half a dozen trays of them.
So these are restaurant-style refried beans, and it's pour water on them. It's kind of like mashed potatoes. So it's a lot easier for us to prepare when we are doing events like this because the kids are not here during the school hours.
What's so inspiring is that Food Runners Club began with just $400 and a very determined mother-daughter team that included Lucy Silva.
With a little bit of my guidance, my daughter and I started this organization, and we started catering for nonprofits at a very low cost.
How cool is that? You get to work with your daughter and do what you love and
Yes. It all started out of 2 hours of community service, really, that she wanted to do. And we went with this organization, the 100 Mile Club. And the 100 Mile Club is actually a running club, And I fell in love with the director in there because she was so patient with the girls. It was my daughter and I that needed the 2 hours. And she just started telling me about her organization and what they did. And at that point, I thought, this is great, you know.
Food Runners is a 4-year program for middle and high school students.
When I started Food Runners, I had no intentions of building Food Runners. I had no idea what we were going to do. Like I said, it was just 2 hours of community service. And
Okay.
they didn't think about none of that.
What do the kids get out of this? What's your mission, your purpose? What are you doing here?
The program is focused in the cooking part of it. But more than that, they learn commitment. They learned, besides the cooking skills, they learn collaboration. They learn time management. They learn all the things that are not taught in school anymore with programs being taken out of the school system. They learn all those things that the schools lack. I don't know if I should say that.
Well, you can because it's true.
It is. So the most important thing is that, you know, they learn various things. They learn about community. They learn valuable life skills. They learn to become friends with another, support one another. It's really nice to see the kids. And I feel really proud of them because when we have events and we're doing an event that requires 6 or 7 of them. They and maybe 2 or 3 of them can make it. You know, they start calling each other. You know, can you fill in for me? Can you do this? So I see that their response is like they're really acting like professionals, like you and I would in a workplace.
The taco, beans, and rice plate cooked by the student chefs runs $6. The small profit that's made goes directly back into the club. It's referred to as motivation money because it's used for road trips to visit college campuses the students hope to attend.
The colleges have been able to see these kids for what they are. These are kids that are worth investing in. We want them in our college. And that is, for me, the biggest payoff. What is it? Yes.
Silva started Food Runners in her home, but within a short time she had to find a bigger kitchen.
The greatest thing that we have in our program, it is the heart of Food Runners, is this kitchen. This kitchen is donated by Peppermint Ridge, and without this kitchen we would have so many struggles because, you know, we cannot operate without a kitchen. So the facility is on loan to us. We don't pay any fees, we don't pay any electric bills or gas bills or nothing. Everything is donated.
So they're truly giving back to
They
the
are
youth.
truly giving back to the youth. Peppermint Ridge has been our biggest blessing, and we can't thank them enough, really.
The students don't get paid, but they do earn school credit. It's a big commitment and a lot of hard work. Even so, Joanna Romero believes in her heart her future is in the kitchen. What made you take part in this program?
My friend Tim, he's not here today, but he was involved in this program before I was, and he got me into it. And the first time I did it, I just loved being here. We were serving people out in the dining area, and it was great being and like conversating with people and that sort of thing. And I loved being around the food.
It's not just the culinary experience that volunteers have gained. Through Food Runners, the participants have also learned valuable life skills and team building in areas like public relations and customer service, even lessons on cultural differences.
I love working in the kitchen. It's so much fun to interact with different people and just be around the food and the experience of it all and learning how to make all these different things. So it's really fun, and I hope I can do it in the future.
And what's your favorite thing to prepare, to make?
Well, we haven't really done it out in the kitchen, but outside the kitchen we make it pretty often. It's lamb chops, or just like, yeah. And it's so much fun because we just like marinating it and grilling it up, and like I've learned how my dad likes it and how I like it and how long we should like keep it on each side. So.
But you're a teenager and you know how to make lamb chops.
Yeah. Because it's my family, and even being here, it's all about the experiencing different cultures within the food and learning more about where they come from and how they season them differently in different places. And I just love learning about that. And not only does it taste really good, but it's a learning experience for how to prepare it and learning about different cultures as well.
In reality, I feel more than anything, I don't feel like I've done nothing for them because they have done this program themselves. and I keep going back to when we started this program. All I have been able to do for them is just give them a tool that they have made it better. Everything you see at this kitchen, everything that you will find in this kitchen has been bought through the efforts that the kids have done in the program. And it is the money that keeps generating into the program that it keeps coming back to this program, that keeps going back into the community. And, all I'm doing is a little bit of guidance, but they're doing it all. They're really building this. And you're going to be amazed when you go into that kitchen and see what they have done, what they have gathered.
Okay, let's go check it out. After hours in the kitchen prepping and cooking, it's time to deliver the taco plates and begin serving. Since those humble beginnings, Silva estimates that her students have collectively volunteered well over 7,000 hours of community service. They've served and cooked for seniors, elected officials, school boards, chambers of commerce, and at school functions. In true American spirit form, food runners often strive to help other struggling nonprofits with their fundraising efforts, putting aside their own needs for the betterment of others. Validation for Silva's program also comes in the form of letters that previous student volunteers have sent. Viviane writes, "By volunteering with these organizations, I discovered my true passion for social justice and public service, which I still hold today." Another student, Susie, says, "What I loved most about the club was the familial community within it. The other members and I easily got along, and we had a lot of fun doing the things we all loved, giving back." While Matthew writes, "I learned the value of serving the community and in turn learned the benefits it can give me. I became a leader, learned how to speak confidently in a professional setting, and the importance of service to others."
That is by far the best payoff, because not only were the kids that have been in the program before been able to apply all those community service hours to their college applications, but they are very well connected in their college. So they're able to build community where they are. They're able to, and start clubs and get involved in tasks and be in their community really involved. And that's what made a difference with Food Runners, because I get letters from these kids telling me if it wasn't for Food Runners, I wouldn't be so inclined to, volunteer anymore.
Lucy Silva is from Tijuana, and she boasts tacos are her specialty. Every year, she's taught the team of 12 new food runners her family recipe.
And the first ones are just going to go really fast until we get it. Okay?
Most of her students are also bilingual, another benefit to having a Latina mentor. Silva often does the work of 3 people, but she wouldn't have it any other way. Giving back to her students is what motivates her.
Well, we do a lot of gourmet foods, and we've done major events for the school district and for other nonprofits, groups. We've done gala nights, done different things.
Some would argue it's Silva, though, who lights the fire under food runners to take the initiative to learn more and become leaders. Food runners say the best part of what they do is that they have fun giving back. Lucy Silva's legacy is that she has helped many young people become good citizens and community leaders with an altruistic mindset. That's the American spirit. hope you enjoyed today's American Spirit stories. I can tell you how humbled we are each and every time we learn about what is being accomplished in our communities by the generous acts of the individuals we profile. Amazingly, our greatest challenge is deciding which stories we have time to tell and which ones must wait for another day. It's actually rewarding and inspiring to know there are so many amazing people doing such great things for our communities. Please join us again as we continue exploring the American spirit. I'm Mary Parks.